what have you liked about Ezeiruaku early on? Steven was saying you were on the table for him at 12.
Yeah.
So go get him.
Yeah, I was. So far, are you since he's shown up here?
Yeah.
Well, first off, he's a mature young man, so integrating himself into a professional atmosphere was pretty seamless. Like, he's a smart guy, he understands what you tell him once, he picks it up quickly. That's been like one of the biggest things, is like we're not having to repeat things over and over for him, that he's grasping concepts, he's grasping the routine, the schedule, what it takes for him to get to where he's going to go, so that we can build on a consistent basis, and instead of feeling like, like when you're potty training your kids, it takes them like 5 days just to figure out just the basics to get started, and then you can really get into the hard work. Well, like, he's already ready. He was already ready in that way. It's just a testament to him, the program at Boston College, the way that they run things over there, and I think that's the biggest thing, is his maturity and his willingness and interest in growing and getting better, and just soaking up all the information quickly has really helped him.
When Brian Schottenheimer was talking about Ezeiruaku last week, or actually I believe it was Steven, somebody had said you were sitting on the table for him as well.
Yes.
So what did you like about him coming out, and has he met those expectations?
First of all, the person, a competitive guy, the maturity I just talked about, excuse me, I apologize. The maturity I just talked about, you can feel that on him, that he's a professional, serious type of person. Then going to the football side of it, the guy made plays. He made plays on the football. He made plays to end games in 2 minutes. There was two to three games at Boston College that he ended the game with sacks. That's what you got to have in the NFL. Like, it's going to come down to 2 minutes. You got to finish it. He made plays on the football, and then on top of that, ideal athleticism and really good arm length. Man, you put all that stuff together. I was so fired up by the young man.
So John Mashoda with the
Hey John, how you doing?
Good. Osa Odighizuwa.
Yeah.
How much did you know about him before, and then what have been your impressions since you've been around him?
I knew him. I remember him coming out in the draft. I believe I went to his pro day. We did a lot of work on him coming out, and then also too, there's guys and there's teams across the NFL where it's like, hey, let's look at how they rushed the team that I was about to play against. So the Cowboys were always one that I looked at. You got Micah, you got Osa. At the time they had Tay and Sam. This was 2 years ago when DQ was here, and so they would always be a team that I would say, all right, let's just see what they were doing versus this team, how they were protected, so I could kind of prepare my guys at the Jets for, this is probably how they're going to protect us. All right, this is how they're going to handle this they're going to handle that. And so in that way, I was like, golly, this guy keeps showing up. And even at that time, he wasn't getting as many reps as he did last year. And so then last year, same thing. You go back through and you're watching crossover tape, and you see the guy flashing and making plays. So in that sense, I felt like I had a good sense of who he was. Meeting him in person has been even more of a great positive surprise, because he is dedicated to the process. He's a leader in our room. He is the contract has not changed him one bit. He still is hungry to get better and grow as he was, I'm sure, as a rookie. So in all those ways, seeing him on tape and being excited about his abilities, and then meeting the person to match with it, man, golly, like, what a home run.
What value has Micah been able to provide in meetings by still being there?
He's been great. He's been putting his 2 cents in when he sees something, or giving some great indicators on, hey, expect this. Hey, look at the tackle on this. He's given great indicators to the guys across the board. The other thing that I would say that is probably never going to be shown is he's taken some guys under his wing and had some one-on-ones with them, whether it was in the weight room getting their body ready to go out to practice, or whether it was in the meeting room. He's done a really good job with like picking his spots to get one-on-one with guys and really put his arm around them and just help them and show them the way and give him information and, hey, take this for what it's worth, but I think you could do it like this, or I think you could do it like that, and the guys have really been appreciative of that.
So he hasn't been a distraction?
No, not at all. Not at all. He's been awesome.
You've not had a chance to really work with him on the field at all. How anxious are you to finally see what he is like on the field?
I'm excited. I mean, I think his resume speaks for itself. Todd?
Yes.
All right, here we go. All right, I think his resume speaks for itself, Todd, what he's able to do on the field, and I'm excited about that when that opportunity comes. I have no reservations about him being ready to play in football games. He's proven that he's doing that. He's working his butt off with all the physical and the strength training and the running he's doing. He's doing a great job with all that. So, yeah, I'm excited for it. It's an opportunity for me to continue to to coach the group and press the group forward while he stays engaged, and he knows the playbook, he knows our calls, he knows everything backwards and forwards. So when that moment arises, I know he'll just let it rip.
Garrett Podell, CBS Sports.
Hey, Garrett.
With Micah in the meetings, have you seen a tangible example of Micah pointed something out to another defensive lineman, they heard it, and then you saw that executed and improved
I have.
on the field?
I have. I probably won't go into like strict detail with that, just for the purposes of our scheme and what we're talking about in the communication. But I have seen a very, like, more than one examples of him pointing something out or giving somebody a pointer and then it showing up on the tape in the next day or two. Absolutely.
Is there a player or two you could name to where you saw? You don't have to say what it was.
You know, I'll let those guys speak if they want to. I don't want to speak for anybody, because you know those meeting rooms and stuff is somewhat sacred for us, and I want those guys to have their moments together. So not to dance around your question, just to respect that.
Sure.
Coach Babe Laufenberg, Cowboys Radio Network.
Yes, sir.
Sorry if you.
Man, God bless you. I remember the story about your son and him. Man, God bless you and your family. That was an amazing story. Yeah, what a great kid.
You're gonna have to ask a question.
What a great kid, man. What a great kid. It was cool. It was really, really cool. I read the whole thing. It was awesome, man. It was awesome.
I'll pick up from Cowboys Radio. Christy with Cowboys
Yes, ma'am.
Radio. I'm asking about a young guy because these are the guys that we're going to see play a lot in preseason. And a guy like a defensive tackle doesn't show up on the stat sheet. So
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
asking about Jay Toyia.
Yeah.
And how he did with his, first time going against another team and get to play some of those same guys on Saturday. But how was he?
I tell you, one of the coolest things about joint practice is it's an opportunity for some of those young guys to get the kinks out. And early on in the practice, we didn't feel the true impact of Jay. Then he got you get those initial get the butterflies out, you get the kinks out through that first period or two, and then later on in practice the guy showed up. He burst through in the backfield, had a TFL, had a good rush later on, and I think that's one of the huge benefits of joint practice is you're in a game scenario versus people you've never played against before, and you get to go out there and so you saw him man, come off on the side. That wasn't good enough. That's not who I am. And he goes back out there and he makes him a couple plays. All right, good. So I expect now, once we get to the game on Saturday, the jitters are gone. You can do it. You've proven it out here. Was it exactly like a game? Are we going to the ground? No. But it was just a great experience for him and an experience for me to coach him on the tape and look at this play and look at this play, about 30 minutes real time in between one another, and the difference in you, it was really powerful.
Hey, Coach, Jeff Cole,
Yes, sir.
Fox 4 in Dallas. With Mazi, what is your process with him at this point, and how much improvement have you seen?
The process is the same with everybody else. Is we are pushing to be our best every single day, and we're climbing and we're growing, and we all have different things that we need to work on. The standards all remain the same. Everybody's held to the highest standard. And we're trying to do this better than anybody has ever done it before, and we're not going to be perfect every day, and we're going to keep going. So those things that Mazi needs to work on, every day we're pushing. The one thing I would say about Mazi that is so refreshing and so amazing, if you call him out on something that he's not doing correctly, he takes ownership right away, and he's ready to hear the feedback. There is no complacency in him. There's not, I've been in these situations before where it's the media is painting me this way or the fans have painted me this way, but none of that. He's like, Coach, I got to play better. I want to play better. Tell me, help me, whatever. And so that's powerful, and that's all I can ask for as a coach, that he wants to be coached. He takes accountability, and when it's good, we love him up, and when it's not right, then we coach him up. That's it.
Are there those green flag signs that you see that maybe he's going to have this breakthrough that he's wanted to have?
Green flags, like a specific signs or moments. I have trust and I have faith in Mazi. I liked him coming out in the draft. I think he has the requisite tools. I think he has the mindset to do all the things that he wants to do, all the things that he wants to accomplish. And now it's our job to work together and bring that to fruition.
Okay, Coach. No.
Yes, sir.
Sorry about that, and thank you. For
You don't have to apologize. Lord have mercy. No, Lord have mercy.
Put me on a cross.
The name and the name and the face hit me.
Thank you. So getting back, Solomon Thomas.
Yes, sir.
Bringing him here.
Yeah.
Is that how beneficial is that? I guess for you having a guy that can kind of preach and talk to the other guys and really be a coach.
Yeah. So sometimes it's made where it's this guy's coming to be, and I know that's not how you're phrasing your question, but sometimes you can see this across the NFL, well, this guy's there just for the culture, or this guy's there for just, no way. We brought this here dude to make plays, and he's making plays. That's what he's here for first, because the guy knows how to play attack football, and he's done it for however many this is, 5 or 6 years now. It is 1,000% an added bonus. This guy's an amazing dude. He's a leader. He can show guys the way. He has high levels of accountability. You know, I'm coaching him just as hard as I'm coaching Mazi, and he's the same way. Yeah, you're right, Coach. That's not right. I got to get that fixed. And so for other young players to see that, for a guy who's been doing it, even he's getting coached this way, and he's accepting the coaching and trying to get it fixed, it's really powerful because he doesn't come in with the I got it type of attitude. And that is, in and of itself,
Can he help with
100%.
Hey, this is what he's looking for.
100%. There's times when players, whatever the scenario is, there's times when players hear it from another player and it ends up being more powerful. And that's when you really got, you know what I'm saying? I ain't playing one play. Thank the Lord for the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? I ain't playing one play. So when they're out there between the white lines, if there's somebody you can look to on your left or your right, and they know and they've been through it, and they can pick you up, or they can give you a pointer, or they can say, hey, this is going on right now because of his experience, it's just really powerful for us.
What do you like about Perion?
I love the number one thing about Perion, Nick, is that he is like, he has this alpha dog demeanor where he's just trying to go out there and get it on every single play, and so that's powerful for our group because that's how we're all going to handle ourselves. And then so far I've given him some opportunities with different groups and different people, and he's continued to show up in positive ways and make plays. Still got a ways to go, still got some learning to do, but I think coming off the injury that he had a couple of years ago, which was a pretty serious injury, to see where he's at now, man, I'm so happy and excited for the kid and proud of him for this journey that he's been on, and to see him go out there and get after it and make plays, it's been really powerful.
What's been the biggest change you've seen in him, getting him this time around?
Understanding of the front. He was with us. He was with us for, I don't know, maybe 2 months in New York, and then now to have the end of the off season and this basically the first 3 or 4 weeks of camp. So where he's at now, like his understanding of, his understanding of what's being asked of him is at a much higher level.
What's
Have
your
you had other
impression?
people come in spring league at your other stops
Yeah.
along the D-line?
Yeah.
Do you find it helpful, or do they kind of start to wear down a little bit just because they haven't had the
I haven't found the wear it down part of it. Those guys, the season's not terribly long and they don't get too beat up. But we've had probably, I know at the Jets I had a couple guys come in through there, and it was powerful. Part of it was crazy. They were in football shape. They were ready to rock. And so for like when you're sitting on the couch all spring and then you got to go out and play football, the way you get in shape playing football is to play football. And so those guys are already, and it kind of gives them like a little bit of a leg up. I haven't seen anything like body deterioration at this point. It's been all positive because most of those guys are young players who are trying to build, and they need those reps. For whatever reason, like Perion coming off of an injury, he missed a whole year of football. He needed those reps to get his legs back underneath him so that when he got here, he's ready to rock. So that was, in that way, I think it's such a positive experience for those guys to go through it. And anytime I get a guy who's not sure if he wants to do it, I'm like, man, go do it. If you need reps, you need to play football.
What have your impressions been of Brian Schottenheimer as the head coach?
God, man, what a blessing it is for me to be here. I'm not saying that because he's my boss. It's been his leadership has been incredible of the team. His accountability for us and also for the players has been incredible. His energy, his positivity has been incredible. I'm thankful to work for him, thankful to be here, and really admire the way he's handled. The becoming a head coach. This is my 5th franchise. Becoming a head coach, that's a daunting task. There's a lot, and admire the way he's handled everything, and definitely thankful that he selected me to be here with him.
You mentioned his energy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Louis Scruggs, NBC5.
Yes, sir.
What is it you're looking for from your D-line based off the practice come Saturday?
There's some, you don't really game plan for these and we're not going to. We're not going to like put together some elaborate game plan for a joint practice or the first preseason game. We want to see guys go and play. So there's some like details in our technique based on what the Rams do that we need to adjust, you know, that we can really work on, which is great because every scheme every week is not the same. And so, hey guys, they run this play like this, or they have this style of play, so you got to be ready for this, this, and this. Well, now that narrows your focus down to like, don't be ready for everything, be ready for this, 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 and we can adjust and we can tweak technique a little bit. So I want to see those things that we're talking about today in film review, the things that we saw on tape yesterday, I want to see those get better on Saturday. So whatever those issues that we had that we could tweak, they need to get better. That's really what I want to see.
Can you bring us inside the process of how these start of practice fun moments and themes come together? Is that all orchestrated by Shadi?
Are you talking about on the bags and stuff like that?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be honest, I ain't got nothing to do with that. So I can't.
For that.
No, it's fun. It's great. I love just to get things going. I love the purpose of the bags is to start the practice with energy, to start the practice and get it going in the right direction. Everybody's moving in the same direction. Everybody's doing the same drill, but we're doing it with activity. We're doing it with urgency. We're doing it with pace, just to get the juices flowing and get everything going. So add in a little humor with that. I'm all for it. But that's like the purpose of it. It's like, guys, we're starting 100 miles an hour. We're not easing into this thing.
Does that mean you're going to be surfing on one of the backboards that they were carrying the other day?
Hell, I'm down for anything. Whatever. If you guys got any suggestions, let's let Scott know.
Does Shadi come up with most of, like, is he the one who's the brainchild behind most of the ideas?
Again, I have no idea. I got no idea. Maybe they keep me out of it for a reason. I don't know. I had the one that I had the Oklahoma drill. That was exciting, but since Oklahoma drill's banned, I thought that would be a good idea. But other than that, I got nothing.
Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.